The Railway Post Office has made 5 awesome deliveries to me over the past few weeks. Come along and let me show you. I'm Roy Smith. They say the RPO, or Railway Post Office, made its last deliveries in 1977. That may be, but something's going on because I got 5 deliveries of model railroad stuff during the past few weeks. I want to show you those 5 deliveries in the same order that I received them. And here they are. Delivery number 1. In Dispatch 73 back on December 8th, I showed you this Union Pacific coffee tumbler that my friend Jim Young in Pennsylvania sent to me. I like it so much that I want to share it with you again in this clip from Dispatch 73 as the first of the 5 RPO deliveries. My friend Jim Young in Pennsylvania sent me this insulated coffee tumbler with the Union Pacific paint scheme and logo on it. Jim says it's for drinking coffee when working on the layout or making videos. One thing is for sure, I won't have to drink cold coffee anymore. I love it. Thanks, Jim. Guess what? This tumbler holds 2 cups of coffee. That's great because I can live without food, but I can't live without coffee. Now all I need are 2 donuts to go with my 2 cups of coffee. Delivery number 2. This book was the second item delivered to me. It's called Realistic Layouts, Use the Art of Illusion to Model Like a Pro, written by C.J. Riley. It came from Calmback Publishers, the same people who publish Model Railroader magazine. The book includes chapters on planning, backdrops, scenery, mirrors, bridges, structures, weathering, and color. I haven't read it yet, but I am looking forward to it because I want to see how I can apply the tips and techniques described in it to my layout. When I do, I will share them with you. Next up, delivery number 3. I received another box of detail parts from Chris Perry, my good friend in New Zealand. Let me show you what he sent in the box this time. First, there's a container of detail parts marked for Green River on my layout. There's a letter of instructions that goes with the container, and the letter has packs of detail parts attached to it. The letter identifies each part and explains where to place it on my layout. The detail parts include posts for traffic control, traffic signs, other kinds of signs, electrical boxes, and utility poles. You see, what Chris does is this. He walks up and down scenes on Google Satellite and Street Views, and then he painstakingly replicates what he has seen. There are more detail parts in the plastic container, including highway bridge piers and more utility poles. The next container is marked Evanston. There is a letter of instructions for the contents of this container as well. In the container are electrical boxes, utility poles, and other detail parts. Now here's something that I removed from the Evanston container a little while ago. You may remember that there's a hostler's building in a state of ruin at the Roundhouse in Evanston, and you may remember that I used a photo to depict it on my layout. Well, Chris has created a shallow 3D replica of the hostler's building for my layout, and it fits the space I have for it perfectly. I will need to build up the terrain under it, but that will be easy to do. It's totally awesome, just like everything that Chris does. Now, moving back to the box that Chris sent, there's something else in it, something wrapped in Christmas paper. I'm going to put it under the Christmas tree and open it on Christmas morning, but judging by the feel of it, it may be some of that fabulous chocolate from New Zealand. Chris is the most generous and talented modeler I know. I don't know of anybody else who can work with tiny detailed parts the way he does. He single-handedly has created all of the detail parts now appearing on, or soon to appear on, my layout. As I install these detail parts on my layout, I will show you. I can honestly say that my layout is a joint effort between Chris and me because he has helped me create the scenes on my layout just for the pleasure that he gets from doing it. Thanks, Chris. I can't begin to tell you how much I appreciate this package and all of the things you have previously sent to me. To me, you exemplify the joy that comes from sharing the hobby. Delivery number 4. I ordered and have received a Bachmann N-scale track cleaning car. Let me take it out of the jeweler's box so that you can see it better. It comes as a 50-foot boxcar. Mine has Union Pacific markings, but you can get it with various other road names. It features Bachmann's dry track cleaning pad underneath, which I will show you closer up in a moment. Let's take it out for a spin with a Cato SD40-2. I must confess I'm not overly impressed with it. To start with, it doesn't come with any instructions. Second, it weighs in at 4.5 ounces. This extra weight causes the cleaning pad under the car to press down on the track. But despite this added weight, the car derails easily, and the doors on the car don't open, so you can't put extra weight inside. And third, it comes with Bachmann's Easy Mate couplers that don't play well with the Cato couplers on my SD40-2. It's difficult to couple it to the locomotive, and it often comes uncoupled when you don't want it to. Of course, the unwanted uncouplings could also be attributed to those lousy Cato couplers. I love Cato locomotives, but not their lousy couplers. Now here's the track cleaning pad that I mentioned a moment ago. It's easy to remove and replace. You can buy replacement pads as needed. Here's the track cleaning car running with a Cato AC 4400. This locomotive is equipped with microtrains couplers that work much better than Cato couplers. But even with the microtrains couplers, the car uncouples when I push, stop, and then pull, as you can see here. And it doesn't like to couple automatically. If you own one of these Bachmann track cleaning cars, I hope you'll share your thoughts about it in the comments section down below. Now, you may have been wondering why I don't just continue to use my CMX track cleaning car as I have been doing for years. Well, here's why. I dropped it on the floor and shattered it into a million pieces. Here are a few of those pieces. The rest will never be found. And finally, delivery number 5. My son Michael and his wife Lisa, who live in Virginia, sent a big box of Christmas presents to me and Leonore. Among the things in the box were all these railroad items. Let me show you. A pack of N-scale dogs and cats. Michael said I need these because I don't have a real dog or cat. A coal hopper, an ornamental steam locomotive 060, and a tender to go with it. Even though this locomotive and tender are ornaments, I will be able to use them on my layout. In a moment, I will show you how. A coffee mug with a train on it. Mike and Lysa know how much I love coffee and trains. A train calendar for 2021 with a photo of trains each month. Just in time because my train calendar for 2020 is about to expire. And a Christmas card with a pop-up train and town scene in it. And now, as an added bonus, let me show you how I can use that 060 steam locomotive and tender that Michael and Lysa sent to me. I am really excited about this. I have taken the locomotive and tender up to my train room, and guess what? They are almost a perfect N scale. I'm excited about this because just a few weeks ago on December 4th, the city of Evanston moved this 060 from a city park in town out to the roundhouse in the railroad complex. The 060 steam locomotive was built for the Union Pacific and put into service in 1915 as number 4420. It was used as a switcher at the roundhouse and rail yards for 43 years. It was finally retired in 1957 and was donated to the city of Evanston in 1958, where it was put on display first on the courthouse lawn and later at that city park. At long last, on December 4th, 4420 and its tender were loaded on flatbed trailer trucks using a crane and brought home to the roundhouse. It now sits outside the roundhouse, but it will eventually be moved inside for restoration. The city hopes that it can be returned to operational condition and used to give rides to visitors at the rail yards. I would like to put my 060 right here outside one of the roundhouse doors, just like the prototype. But there isn't enough space for it here. It could fit over here as a static display, but for the moment I will just leave it sitting here on this track alongside the roundhouse. If any of you guys get out there and take more photos of 4420, I certainly would love to see them. So it's been a busy few weeks on the Railway Post Office, but guess what? There's always more stuff coming on the RPO. Thanks for letting me share these latest 5 deliveries with you. Remember, there are hundreds of other videos for you to watch right here on this channel. I will put a link to my videos page down below. Or you can go to these videos over here just by clicking on them. It's always a pleasure to share the world's greatest hobby with you. I'm Roy Smith. Until next time, happy railroading.